Boy, I have a Nissan Sentra, and also, heads up, Glass 8 is finally back. Yes. So link will be in the description for that. In the meantime, we have some work to do. So we are going to be doing 20% on the back of this. We're going to do 35 in the front doors. No windshield. We're going to be doing Pro Classic. Let's get started here pretty quick. I was, I'm a cop, whoop whoop. I was gonna get started here, and then all of a sudden my lights went out. I needed to fill my spray tank. I had time, and then all of a sudden I didn't have time. So, trying to get my scattered brain all in place. Also, we will, I need my chat. How you all doing? How many cars will a roll of Glass Aid cover? About 10. Of course. So get it quick. Get it quick before it runs out. You know, I totally forgot I have to do something really quick too. Where can I buy the window tape? There's a link in the comments. mytintstuff.com is where you can find it. Just bought 10 rolls. Let's go. Sorry. 19. So this is going to be 1950. I missed it too, man. It's finally back. But I'm doing, sorry, I gotta do one last minute thing. So that's gonna be 5. All right, got it. Cool. Whew. One last thing I had to do. Oh, I just bought 10 rolls. Thanks, man. I appreciate the order. 86,000, let's go. Yeah, man. That will be going out soon. So we got a lot of packing up to do. I still have more on the way. It's just been a total nightmare, man. So I'm trying to play catch up right now on everything. Oh, the alert works. How about... Whoa, we even have that. Let's get rid of that. And 3 clay bars. Woo! I appreciate it. I started the fog machines late. Everything is just falling behind. I got somebody waiting on this one too, so I have to man, I just got to get started. That's why I say up to 3 hours though, just in case stuff like this happens. Whew. But it looks like everything is good. No drop frames. We had a big storm that rolled through here. I'm editing a video too in the background, which is super fun. Can't wait till that's done. So I shot the Walmart ceramic tint video. That is going to be up. In the meantime, I need you guys to go vote on a thumbnail too. So I need to know what thumbnail to do. Oh, we can pin this. Mark as announcement. Where can I get my dark but legal shirt? Oh, you can go to Tint Life, TINTLYFE.com. How do I copy a link? YouTube. Why you do this? There used to be like a real easy way to like Used to be a really easy way to like copy a link to a. Oh, there. I think it's that. God, some of these are so annoying. Facebook, why you do this? Okay, wow, that is a ridiculously long link to post. Okay, you can also go here. I need you guys to figure out which thumbnail I need to do, so any feedback on that would be greatly appreciated. I'll show you really quick. Just bought 10 rolls. Dang! Look at you guys. Much appreciated, thank you. T-Town tints too with the 10 rolls. My order is in. Thank you, Daniel. Aw, you guys. I'm glad you like it. I appreciate it. When I first came out with it, I didn't know if anybody would actually like it or if I'd get laughed out of the industry. What's the process? What process do you do when upselling ceramic? Oh man, what a great question. Okay, let me get my bearings and then I want to answer that. Okay, so let's roll down all the windows first. We all good on this? Okay, just making sure battery seems like it's okay. Sweet. So we got the windows rolled down. Now I can tape these and we can get going on this. Where's my belt? Belt's over here. Ugh. So I did a video on that. That's gonna be fun. Give me that glass aid. Thank you for your time this morning. Oh, you're very welcome. It was nice talking to you, Versatility. Any dealers in the UK yet? Wrap Gear, I think, stocks it, but they don't have any yet. They go through a different company. That company's been trying to get a bunch from me for the past months, and we're just getting up to speed on it. So that'll be. Oh yeah, this is it. So this is it, brand new. First one. We're gonna be using it on this card. Glass aid is back. Very, very clean. These turned out amazing, which I'm super happy about because that was my other concern. If we went to these lengths and then they didn't come out clean, I would be very, very upset. But looks like they did an awesome job. Quality control, you know, we have it back in stock, but just to make sure. Hey! Oh, one of them works. Oh, there it is. Looks like we have a problem. Looks like we're getting gassed. Okay, I've never had that happen before. Did the alert work? Or did it just go off? Oh, wow. I think it just went off. Oh, that's fun. That's all types of fun. You guys still here? We good? Okay, cool. Yep, we're good. How dark? So we were doing 20% on the back, and then we were doing something on the front. 35. 20 in the back, 35 on the front. I've never had that happen. That was different. Looks like the fog machines just decided to go off for no reason. Is that black magic I see? Yes, sir. We just installed their ceramic on my Blazer just to see what it was like. People were telling me they had it. I had to go see for myself. And the thing is about it, everybody would, you know, your impressions is like, oh no, that's got to be terrible. But like, why? Why really? So we found out exactly why. And how does it compare to, you know, something that we install regularly here? I think it's important every once in a while to take a journey and find out how utterly terrible some cheaper films are, because at the end of the day, you know, tint is tint, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a little segue here. We're gonna try out the new roll. Again, this is brand new shipment. This has never been used before, so we gotta make sure that it's okay, or else we have a real big problem on our hands. It all looks good. It all seems the same. Does it stick? What happens when I spray? Will it peel clean? All these questions and more to be answered very soon here on a Nissan Sentra. Well, it's very grippy. Yep. Sure seems pretty normal to me. There's so much humidity in the air right now, though. We just had a giant storm just like whip through here. It almost took my power out. And then, like, weirdly enough, well, that went well, so that's cool. And then, oddly enough, like, my lights just all of a sudden, like, and then fizzled out. I'm like, okay. That's different. How did you do a cutout for the light? You just freehand it, honestly. So you'd shrink, you cut, you get it ready to cut, you put a light on the inside, and then you gotta freehand this. I used to do them. I just don't do them hardly anymore. I just don't get requests for it, and then every once in a while, oh shit, I forgot to plug this in too. No wonder. We need some pressure. So we gotta hook my tank back up. There we go. Yay, much better. If you're worried about legality on front windows, you might as well go darker on the front. No, not really. It does kind of make a difference. So at least around here, like, yeah, there's the legal limits, and then there's that rule of thumb there. So generally, the more you blend in and the lighter you go, the less likely you are to get hassled for it. So it will take 100 rolls. Go for it. So somebody asked a little earlier about selling ceramic, and I've learned a lot about selling different films and like how you can go about doing it and introducing it to people, because it's a really good question. It's something I didn't know the best way to do it. So I'm still working on figuring that kind of stuff out. But what's worked really well for me is, one, the channel. But I know most of you guys don't have live streaming tint channels, so like, what do you do? Well, first is the easiest, and that's a heat box demonstration. So you need a clear-cut way to explain very quickly and easily why they should care. And not everybody's gonna care. But when you take a heat lamp and you put the different films in front of it, now they have something they can wrap their head around very, very easily. You can show them a spec sheet, but putting it in some sort of like a real world situation is super important. Another thing that was really helpful was introducing it before they even came into the shop, so there were no surprises. So basically, like, somebody books an appointment, we take a deposit, they're committed to coming in, and now they might get curious if they didn't do much research, if they just booked with us over the phone. They might get curious in some of the other things, or like, you know, like how we do tint jobs, what film we use. Like, they might actually go to our website and then start getting information that way. So having clean-cut ways to present some better information than just a quick price and a quick explanation over the phone But if all you're doing is like over the phone, I've been asking people what film they're looking for. Now, I don't even expect most people to even understand how to answer that question. They're like, if anything, most people will just say, I'm looking for, like I'll say we have a dyed, a carbon, and ceramic. Is there any particular type of film you're looking for? Because assuming that they're just there for the cheapest, or assuming that they're just there for, just tint and nothing else, is not the way to go about it. So asking that question has been really interesting because I get a lot of I get a lot of unique responses. I get some people that are like, bro, I have no idea. I just want to get a tint job. And then I have some people that are like, actually I was shopping around and I heard carbon or ceramic is really good. I'm interested in getting prices on those specifically. So never assume that they're just looking for the cheapest. But when you mention it, it's a way to kind of segue into talking about them. So when they go, it keeps the phone conversation running a little bit longer, and you stand out a little bit more because you're trying to help explain some differences about film where they might never have known before. So a lot of shops are very lazy, and what's going to happen is somebody is going to call, and somebody is going to quote a price, and then they're going to hang up the phone. Well, guess what? How many other shops did that? And how many all sound identical? And you have no way of standing out. It's very brief, it's verbal. You need a way to stand out from everybody else. You need to give people a reason to come in for a better film, or just even to come in at all. So most people shortcut with price. And I get a lot of that when I have just people cold calling in, shopping around. But I always try and bring it to their attention. Another thing you can do, great segue into an app I use called Tint Whiz. Tint Whiz has these handy-dandy little proposal feature that you can use. And we've talked about that before on the stream. Proposals are a great way to follow up with somebody, whether or not they actually committed to book with you, or they were just inquiring about price, because I guarantee you the vast majority of shops aren't doing anything to follow up with somebody that's just asking about price. So when somebody calls, you need to get a little information, whether or not you grab their name, not a big deal, the car that they have, and their phone number. So you talk a little bit about whatever your options are, and then you send them a follow-up Tint Whiz proposal, introducing them into, like, showing them actual examples of the work and the films you were talking about. So that's been something that's been really, really helpful at introducing people, and that to me is what I'm really trying to do. Before they get in the door, like, I don't care what film that they say they want. I don't care, what they commit to ahead of time. It's, I've got you coming in on this date for a tint job. However much of the car we're doing, woo! Whoa! Good God. Oh, there it is. Woo! Gravy. Boss. Boss is a boss, man.
Boss super chatted $104.29. Hi Matt.
104 US, 75
Just to
Great
say
British
I'll be on
pounds.
holiday from tomorrow for a week. We really need to unwind after all his drama for the past year. Hope to catch up in about a week. Take care. Regards to the family. Have fun, chatters. Winking face.
Dang. Boss, thank you so much. That was such a big super chat. Well, you have a great vacation, man. And definitely look forward to having you back in a week. Take it easy. And, dude, that was just a super nice message. Really, really appreciate that. Good God. 100, over 100. That's crazy. Thank you so much. That deserves like, woo! Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Lionel got 10 rolls. Damn, thank you. I appreciate that too. Yes, Glass 8 is back in stock. That's a record? Almost. Believe it or not. There's the, you guys know, Daniel Reyna. I think him or at the time, God, it was, there were some super chat wars. I think it was Patrick. They both, like, there was like a $200 super chat. I think that's a record. But over the course of one of the live streams, there was one that was just absolutely insane. So that's definitely a big one. What is Glass Aid? Glass Aid is what we put on the back glass there to help keep the blade from touching the window so we don't put any scratches in it. It's been a long time coming, and now it's finally back in stock. I've been trying to get this stuff back in stock since like near the beginning of the year. But yeah, that was a massive super chat. Thank you so much. How much for this one? So this job is $260. We are doing everything but the windshield. We're doing the Pro Classic. I've done a lot of these jobs. And little segue away from our normal carbon and ceramics, but it's gonna look good. Plus the hunch. I think I got the record for you, but how much was it? Good God. Plus the $104 tip. Yes, that is nice, but the thing is, I don't tint as many cars in a day. I put a great deal of time aside to do one of these versus the normal. So, yeah, it kind of balances out. You honestly could just, it'd be easier to just tint more cars. But I have more fun doing this, so like, I really enjoy doing this. Do you sell your services with a low-end tint and then upsell? That's generally been what I've been doing. So I wouldn't call this film low-end, but it's low end on the spectrum of what I sell. So everything I sell comes with what is called a color stable lifetime warranty, meaning that if it fades, bubbles, peels, anything that you don't like down the road, I replace it for free. So this stuff had better hold up. And so I do that. You get good aesthetics. You get UV. The film looks great, and, well, that's aesthetics, but what you don't get is heat rejection. That's really like the staple of carbon and ceramic. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for good carbon and good ceramic for good optical clarity and longevity. So we've been starting, I've followed what a lot of other companies did, and that's starting less expensive and then introducing the other films kind of as you go. But a lot of the summertime, what I saw was with the type of content that we're doing, there's a lot more people that were just coming in asking about carbon and ceramic, which was super cool. Just started my own business. I'm using Suntech Carbon as a base product. Was just curious if we start on a lower cost film and upsell into the premium stuff. That's generally been, like, I think one of the best ways to do it is the 3-tier system. So you have a good, you have a better, and you have a best. So generally, your middle grade is going to be the best value. So it's not going to be the cheapest. It's not going to be the most expensive. It's generally what you're going to try and sell the most of. You'll have people that will come in for the best of the best. You'll have people that will just be economic shoppers. And then you have people, like more people will often go for something that's in the middle, regardless if they really understand it or not. But carbon fits that bill really nicely. So with the standard film, I never wanted to install anything that's going to fail. So Pro Classic here, color stable, lifetime warranty, looks great, like I said, all those good talking points. But there's very little IR heat reduction. Like there's virtually none. You get the shade, and it absorbs a little bit into the glass, but most of it will pass straight through. So when you go to the carbon, you get a 50% heat reduction. And then when you go to the ceramic that I have, you get a 75% heat reduction. So when people feel the heat reduction on the box, that's when they'll generally go for something like that if they're interested, but we get all types. I mean, it's winter here for 6 months out of the year, so like I totally get it if you don't want to get it on your car. You're still going to get a great tint job here. Is there an alternative to Glass Aid I can grab at the store? The closest thing that you're really going to find is like, you can use, like somebody said, a generic pinstriping. That'll save you some money, but it's not going to be near as thick. So you're going to have to kind of double, or actually really you're going to have to triple up that pinstriping to do what Glass Aid does. But if all you need it for is the line, then there's a lot, like you could just use pinstriping. You'll be totally fine. Oh, I like that question. That's actually a really good question. If you had to pick one tool to tint a car, what would it be? Would you believe? Probably not a tool I actually use all the time. Actually, I think this guy. So I don't use it. I definitely don't use it all the time, but I think it'd be my Detroit Tint Studio squeegee, believe it or not. That or something a little bit more edgy, like a tri-edge. So the problem is like you need something to squeegee out the majority of the window, but you also need something to get in those corners. So it could also possibly be a handled squeegee with a cropped blade instead of like the squared off ones that I usually use. You'd be able to get into some more spaces, but you need something to kind of get into those side seals. And then also squeegee out the rest of it. Glass Aid is sold out everywhere. It's going to be back soon. So I thought, guys, you guys thought this was a fun week. So what happened was I was told that I was going to have, let's see, I have 10,000 rolls that are being produced. I was told that order had to be broken down into something a little bit more feasible because it's just super time consuming to make. So 3,300 of those rolls were going to be sent out, and they were supposed to be here today. Well, it turns out only partial of that was here today. So I wanted to have distributors stocked with it as well, and that didn't happen. So hopefully in like a week-ish, distributors, like a little bit more than a week because I gotta ship it out to them too, they'll have it soon enough. So if you've ordered it from places like Tint Depot and Sun Distributing, it will be back there. It just, I apologize, but I gotta do what I gotta do on my end too. I just don't have enough to supply everybody yet. But yeah, it was supposed to. I don't want to short them either, but, you know, hey. So it's somewhat limited, but won't be for long. Good grief. What? What is up with this? We might have to recut these a little wider. Hang on, let me look at this real quick. So this is overlapped about how much I normally do it. Sometimes back windows will shift. These ones look like they just fall out of the seals, and oh, I guess it does shift. Oh, not that much. Wow, that's quite a bit. I don't like that. All right, I'm gonna recut these. They're just a little bit too short, but film's not bad. We're just gonna set it over there, and we'll probably throw it out later. Best adhesive remover? Awesome. Or ATR. One of these two. This one you can find, Awesome you can find locally. ATR, that is going to be through the Tint websites. So the ATR I think is a little bit more consistent, but both of them will work. When you do these side windows, could you explain how to grab the film? Been in a shop for 2 months doing quarters, just want to be ready. When you do the side windows, you just explain how you grab the film. Oh, like this? So like just clamp it really hard. And then I'll rest my hand at the bottom or rest it like against like my stomach or something, and then I'll just gradually unroll it. And then I slice it off. So when you have a full roll, definitely support it from the bottom, or else it'll kind of like yo-yo out on you. But brand new rolls, they're heavy, and some of them don't have much static, so they can start slipping. I meant when installing. Good God, man. Be more specific. We'll get there. All right, so we're going to recut these. We have to cut the bottom, cut the sides, and we're just going to drag it over even more than we did. I wasn't expecting them to shift out quite as far as what it did. So we've got some room to play around with it. So take your knife, cut it, and then we typically go over about as wide as the little rubber channel is on these, but in this one we're gonna go about twice as far just to be safe. Because really, like on a car like this, you have some room to play with on the inside. Not exactly the tightest of tolerances on something like this. So looks like it's a little too far over already, but we'll see when we roll it down where it lines up. Are we better now? Yeah, that's better. So when they roll it down, no gaps. Have you tried with a marker? Once or twice. Most of the time I didn't have glass boards. So using a marker, cutting it out on a flat surface wasn't an option. So I had to learn everything off of the car because the environment would always change. I'd run around from shop to shop. And most of them, basically all of them, were not set up for tinting at all. It was dusty, dirty cages on the sides for product. It was tight garage spaces. I was put in bays where they would make sub boxes, all sorts of auto accessory installers, just air guns and all that kinds of goodness. So, yeah. I learned how to do everything on the car, but that is... I saw a couple of really efficient ways to do that. I think it's smart. I just do everything with the blade. So if you're worried about like cutting a car, maybe we could get into that one day. I should write that down. That would be a good... That would make a good good video alternative for cutting it out, but you need a glass board. I mean, when I first saw it, I laughed. I was like, really? Because there were like pretty reputable people, and I thought most of us tinted the same. And then I like watch a video, and then it's completely different. Like the first bit was, and then all of a sudden it starts into that, and I'm just like, okay, so first you want to grab a Sharpie, and I'm like, wait, what? Never seen anybody use a Sharpie at the time. Then it took like 4 hours to tint the car, and I'm like, oh, good God. But since then, I've seen a couple other people, or heard a couple of methods with a Sharpie that keeps it fast. Where's the sander video? So the thing is, the sander works, but there's also a part of it that scares me a lot. And I don't just want to break into using a sander. I want to make sure this was 20. It is. I don't want to just break into using a sander and... Sorry. I don't want to just break into using a sander and screw up somebody's window. So I tried it a little bit. It was working great. And then with some longer term use, the belt starts like sliding off. So I need to get a better belt for it. And I have like a bunch of different ones, and they all kind of like seem to skip off. So I don't know what I have to do yet. I'm curious to see if it's better than a file. I'd have to see a file in person to really tell you, but I can tell you it's very quick. It's quick, it's simple, and if it works like really well. So I put like 500 and 1,000 grit sand belts on it, but I don't know if I have to get more expensive ones because these ones were like shifting over. So the belt that it came with was fine for the most part. It was just coarse. And then if you try too much, you're gonna start wearing down the window a little bit. You kind of just have to like keep it going quick and smooth, and you'll do great. I was really surprised how well and easy it works. I'm just a little nervous on like an expensive car. Don't really want to do it like as a test. Hello, I'm from Southwest Michigan. Just found your channel. How long have you been in business? I've been tinting for a little over 13 years. But this place has only been open since October. I've had Detroit Tint Studio since March of last year. So, been tinting for a long time. The business portion, I've been around a lot of shops. So I have a lot of like heads up on how things mostly work, but as far as like best practices, we've changed some things. All right, so we're gonna cover up this door panel, and we're gonna tint it. So let's grab a couple of things. Let's grab a clay bar, scrubby, and maybe even a razor and a rag. So we want that. We need to get organized again. We're getting a little chaotic. Today was a little crazy though. No, it's just somebody, yeah. I gotta put a two-way film on there so I don't get asked. I still struggle with the snap/pull technique. Any advice to make it easier? Not really. Just try it a bunch of times in a row. I mean, you keep the heat gun a little bit away and just gradually heat it up, and you'll start to see it pull or curl or whatever. You'll like kind of see it some, and then when you lay it back on the glass, just like go in stages, I guess. I don't know. Do a little bit, check it out, do a little bit. But the more repetition that you have with it, the better. We gotta clean the bottom. Just started with the top though, for no good reason. Where is my scraper? I got it somewhere, don't I? Yeah, I do. I got it right here. Is that water you had your clay bar sitting in? It is. So after I clean them, I'll sometimes leave them sitting in some warm water just to keep them a little softer. But I'll do that quite often. I don't leave it sitting in there overnight, but sometimes just resting in warm water. And then I can use it on a window. I can kind of wipe it off a little bit. But it's nice to just kind of clean them off a little bit before using them on another window or something. Bought an Amazon toolkit. You think that's good enough for personal applications? I bought 5 Amazon toolkits, and I'll have a video here next Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, the next Sunday. That'll be the next video that I do. The TLDR is going to be, some of the tools are fine, but there's going to be reasons why you'd want better tools. But if you do order some of the kits, I'm going to show you which ones to keep an eye out for. Because most of them, I couldn't find the perfect toolkit on Amazon. They have a bunch of what I'll call, I guess, busy tools. Tools that they throw in there to make it seem like you get more for your money, but they're actually just useless. But yeah, we're gonna go through some Amazon toolkits. There's a lot to pick from, and most of them are garbage. But there's a handful that are actually just as good and helpful, but there would be reasons to use like a better squeegee or something. So I don't know exactly how that video is gonna go, but we'll have one. How long do you use the clay bar before changing it? Sometimes I'll go as long as like a couple of months, but it depends on how gross that it starts getting. I mean, you can make it last a long time by just rinsing it out regularly. You could drop them on the ground, you can get them all full of crap, and it'll all rinse out. They'll start to discolor over time with like more and more use, because like using them on a defroster line, for example. Those will make them look pretty scuzzy, but I mean they still will you can get plenty of use out of them. I like the white though, just because you can kind of see what they're doing. So even though it starts to look scuzzy with like long-term use, you kind of know how impactful it is for on a window. Like you can see all the crap coming off of it. Most people throw them away after 5 minutes. Okay, if you do, you're just throwing money away, because those things are great long term. You don't have to just like use it and then throw one away. This is so cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had my one of my videos kind of take off a little bit. The color change film. YouTube decided to give it a boost yesterday, and that's been super cool to see. Because I have another video that's coming out soon, so keeping the channel really, really busy. Do you notice Geo's film is way tackier? Yes, sir. Yes, I do. It's good, but yeah, getting through the tackiness is kind of difficult. What worked really well for me was a mix of Johnson baby shampoo and Dawn. So I do about 3/4 baby shampoo and about 1/4 Dawn. It's been really, really helpful. Have you ever had to give a car back because you couldn't do the job? Yeah, long time ago. And I'll generally hesitate to take something that I'm really sketched out about. So there was like a boat that wanted to get tinted, and I said no for like a little while. And then he just kept pestering me, and I finally said yeah, and I did it. So that was cool. There was like a C6 Corvette a long time ago. For whatever reason, I tried like 6 times. Couldn't tint it. We had to give it back untinted. It sucks. It's not fun to like spend a whole day, waste a bunch of film, and have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, because, you know, somebody drops it off, they expect it to be tinted, or, you know, but people are understanding. You're just like, hey, I just couldn't make it happen for you. But more often than not, I was put in situations where the work had to get done. Like, even if I was sick, it was like they expected me to come in anyways. Like, oh, you have 10 appointments. And it's like, yeah, and I'm sick. And they're like, how sick? And it's like, screw you, man. Can't even get a sick day? Well, we don't have anybody else to tint the cars. It's like, we didn't tell them that they can get done another day. Ooh, well, that's a fun one.
Swalligang super chatted $4.99. Thinking of ordering 3 rolls of GeoShield from her site. Is GeoShield the way to go when starting?
Thank you for the super. You didn't have to super that, but I guess that's a way to make sure that I answer it. Thank you so much. Swolgang. Swolgang with the 5. Thinking of ordering Geo from your site? Is Geo the way to go when starting? It depends on where you're at. So if you're just practicing and you haven't really tinted a car, I actually would recommend saving some money and trying still like a 1.5 mil film. Tint Depot is a great place to find some of that. Reason being is you're gonna learn a lot from pretty much any film that you mess around with. There's just gonna be little quirks about your film that's different from, like, you know, whatever you're practicing. There will be some small differences, but in the beginning, you're learning everything. You're learning how to handle film. So if you're gonna toss away film, you might as well make it as economical as you can. So I don't know if it'll pull up. Tint Depot? Okay, there's a link in chat for you. One of those films, check one of those out. Geo is a great film. It's very user-friendly, minus the tackiness that we talked about a little bit. But, you know, if I haven't tinted much at all, and I'm just using GeoShield, I'm still going to waste a lot of film. So I don't want you to throw away a bunch of money. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. Just finished a Tacoma. we did one of those. Tacoma. I just love that there's taco in the name. People that come in and just want tint their car, right? They annoy me. Why would they annoy you if they want tint? Do you have a list of cars that you upcharge for? Mentally. There's stuff that'll pop up like a red flag if it gets before the, like, 2000. There's some like 90s cars that are very straightforward, and then there's quite a few that hang around that could be on a list of ones that I would upcharge for. Generally speaking, I just like I have a mental list. I don't have a physical one. There's like the C6 Corvette. I would charge more for that. I would charge more for older cars. I would charge more for probably a VW Bug and just similar difficulty cars to that. Most of them will kind of fall in the same pricing, but just ones that are very unique and gonna take a lot more time, that's where I'll charge more for it. There's ones that'll be easier and ones that'll be generally more difficult from each other on like a day-to-day basis, but they all kind of like even out. Oh yeah, Tesla, the Model 3s, those are a big one. I think the Model X, Model 3, Model S is totally fine. And then the Model Y, I think the windshields are weird on that one, but I haven't seen one in person yet. Does Geo leave glue behind if you have to remove the door? Yeah, unfortunately they leave a fair amount of glue on everything except the carbon. The carbon's peels most of the time pretty clean, so that's at least the silver lining there. It's not like Avery was. I miss Avery for that. If I ever had to redo a window, Avery would just pull off with a little bit of heat. It stuck pretty well. It just would peel clean. That was really nice about it. Is tinting house windows essentially the same thing? No. So it's easier to learn how to tint house windows, and you can actually make like a bunch of money easier all at one time by doing house windows. But you're using a different film. So you're using a film with dry adhesive. You still spray the windows and stuff, but there's just a different application process to it. You don't want to necessarily tint house windows like you do auto. There's a much more efficient way to tint architectural windows. I'm not an architectural guy though, so I haven't really wanted to run around to people's houses. So that's why I've stayed strictly auto. Square foot adds up on those jobs? Yeah, that's where you can make a bunch of money because architectural house windows, all that, they charge per square foot, just like flooring. So they'll charge, I don't know, I've heard $8 to $15 is what a pretty typical range is. And I think you could probably, like the thing is, there's more people asking about cars, but with the right type of flat business, there's more money to be made in flat. There really is. But getting into it is the tricky part. With flat, you're running out to people's houses and you're doing some quotes, and then you have to kind of order the film, take a deposit, order the film, unless you happen to stock it all. But architectural film is also more expensive. But yeah, you can make a bunch of money. For example, like I've heard of companies doing a couple million in architectural. That's their main business, and they still only do a couple $100,000 in automotive. But when people bring me cars, they don't have to go anywhere, so. And I can't live stream homes either, so. Best way to get into glass business and ask who they sent to do tint work? What was that? How's the best way to get into it is go to the glass business and ask who they send to do tint work. Interesting. I've heard some other ways to break into it is like, the people that I tint cars for also generally have a place that they live. So your clients are already comfortable with you. So if you make them aware that you do houses as well, there's a good chance that you can break into flat much easier or pretty easily doing something like that. I like that idea because it's a lot less cold cold calling like. This is way simpler. Like, you don't have to put out a bunch of mailers and stuff like that. But I'm sure as a flat business, you probably want to do that too anyways. I don't know. I'm more an auto guy. Homes are tricky because not all windows can be tinted. Yeah, there's some. There should be resources for all those, for all that flat glass too. So like if you have information on the home and then you call the company that you're ordering through, they'll have a lot of good information for like what types of windows can and can't be tinted, and what you're likely to like, you know, so. What you don't want to do, you don't want to just put auto film on a house because the glues are different and heat absorption is a real problem. So if the glass gets really hot, it can crack. So the thing that's different about auto versus home is auto is mostly tempered glass and is made to just sit out in the heat. So homes, they sit out in the heat too, but the air, you know, it's just the house doesn't move. So when it gets a lot of sun, those windows will crack if they're absorbing a lot of heat. So with a lot of homes, you actually reflect the heat away rather than absorb and dissipate it. Yeah, it can be very expensive. If you just do a whole house and then you have all the windows start to crack on you, or all this like sun-facing windows, they all just start to like show cracks in them. Ooh, man. No fun. That would be no fun. But yeah, there's things for homes that are already like energy efficient that do similar things to window tint, but it's depends on how much money a company will spend on their windows. But I am definitely not the most knowledgeable about flat glass. Any tips for tinting a back window with a deck lid that's pressing against the glass? Is there a specific car that you're wondering about? That would help a little bit because I could tell you if it's kind of on my radar for ones that should be pulled. Most of the time, the answer is try and pull the deck, and that's difficult because you got a seat and other things in the way. If it's just like the bottom lip, sometimes you just have to try and tuck the film in. But most of the time, or at least most of the cars that I've encountered, there's only a handful where you'd have to kind of pull out the deck. Most of them you can deal with. Or there's like an easy way to pop the deck back enough. Like a Lincoln MKZ. The one with the glass roof. The bottom of that window, of that deck really sucks. What is it? CTSV? Version 1 CTSV. Ooh, what year? Is that like 13 or something? I think you're right on that. That one popped into my mind. There's one CTS that has like a tan deck lid, or at least more often than not when I tinted it, it had a tan deck lid. And that sucker was like pressed right against the window just at the bottom edge. So it didn't have a dot matrix, so if you were shy, you saw it. 2005, okay, maybe I'm not thinking far enough back, because I definitely have CTS. Like most of the CTSs, no problem. There's one in particular that sucks, so maybe that's it. I don't think I ever learned how to take apart the deck lid on that, but I would if you could. I would generally just cut it as tight as I could and just barely sneak it in there. But that didn't always work out super well. So, yeah, you're probably going to want to pull it if you can. not fun. Yeah, probably not thinking far enough back. So I do remember that the side seals pull out of the top on the one where it does that. Like the rest of the car, super easy. And the back window, mostly easy, except for that part of the back glass. Sucks. Not fun. Are you live every work day? Not every work day, but most work days, yeah. If I set aside the time, which is what I mostly try and do. So, what's really cool is and kind of different is I actually might have to schedule a day a week that is for sure off just so I can film a video. So live streams are really cool, and I like doing them a lot. But if I want to keep the channel really running along with them, I have to keep making videos. So if I just spend all week tinning, then I'm not able to make a video. So I'm just kind of banking on a day that just happens to not have appointments, but we might have to start scheduling an actual day for videos. I'm thinking Wednesday or Thursday. Those are usually like more slow, less people. More people want like Fridays and Saturdays. Those are pretty easy to book. Monday and Tuesdays can be pretty straightforward too. And then midweek is kind of like the oddball days for people. But yeah, I went to film that Walmart video, and man, I hate video. I hate recording videos compared to going live. I hit record, and I have to say the same things 50 times in a row until I finally get like everything that I wanted to say in a take. And then I have a bunch of garbled footage that I gotta go through. It's not fun. What brand of film do you use, and which ones do you like? So I use Geo. I like their C2 Carbon, their Pro Nano Ceramic, and their Pro Classic. The only one that I don't use from them is V Nano. They have a new ceramic coming out. It actually might be here today. So I gotta check that stuff out. We're gonna be doing a live stream pretty soon then, if that's the case, because I want to break into it. Stuff's gonna be more expensive. Where can I get the Glass Aid tape? It's back in stock. You asked at a good time. Glass Aid. I dropped a link in chat. You can find it at mytintstuff.com. I challenge you to cut top edges with single edge blade. I've done it. I'd wrap some sort of tape around half of it though. I did that on my Target video. I used a box cutter blade. It just helped when you have like, you kind of almost need something for the film to like stop trailing down the blade. So if I just put out this like entire blade and there's nothing kind of pressing the film towards the window, then it kind of just starts to fall back. But if you wrap something around it to hold the tint just mostly against the window, the cut works out much better. That's why like when I cut it, I'll put the film all the way close to this. I don't want to scrape this against the film, but like the little sheathing on the knife or whatever they call it. How dark is the front? 35. Dang. I'm not going to, keep forgetting. I've been so distracted with editing. I didn't come in with the topic today. We're just tinting a car. So that's good. But here's, dang it. So I've done a pretty good job of uploading accidentally daily for the past little while now. I didn't even intend to. It just started to happen. What I want to do is keep that trend going, and also, the way I've been doing that is I've been trying to come up with little subjects to talk about while I'm streaming. Popular things that you guys have questions about. And then I'll take some of those topics and I'll cut them into a video and I'll post them on an off day. So like that question I had the other day, we posted a video on, is like how do you take deposits and how have they worked out for you? That was something I never I never really worked at a shop that had done that. I've always heard reasons not to do it. But it was, tried it for the past year, worked out really well. So I'm trying to come up with some subjects to kind of go into regularly for some of these streams, so we have more than just the car. That way I have something to post. So it's always this like mental, it never stops. It's like, okay, cool. I tinted a car live. Oh, cool. I got a couple videos to post after the fact. And then if I run out of those videos, then like I have nothing. I have to keep thinking like 2 days ahead, and it's a little exhausting, but it's fun too. I'm gonna squeeze this off one more time. I'm gonna pop this boy in. I always think about the insulation, but there's so many other questions that are really, really good. Like somebody asked about ceramic earlier. That I think is a really, really helpful question, because I didn't even know. I just kind of figured things out as I went. I had the heat box demo, and that was cool. But figuring out how to like introduce the heat box is something else. What's up? Okay, cool. We close at about 5, so we'll be done with yours in actually probably about an hour or so. So, no problem. See ya. Alrighty, well, we have a little bit more time with this one now. It is getting Pro Classic. Sad. We didn't go with ceramic, but not all of them are going to be ceramics. There we go. Woo! That's fun. Ooh.
Swalligang super chatted $4.99. Tips to avoid ever cutting seals for beginner.
Thank you for that super. Tips to avoid cutting seals for beginners. That's actually a really good one. I can best show it. Whoa! There is this bubble line across my whole top edge of the window. That was so wild. So unfortunately, we're already through a good portion of all the hand cutting. We've cut out all the doors, but I can give a couple of quick things that I would do. Because I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. Still happens very occasionally if I'm not careful. Usually like a sliver or something that wouldn't be noticeable if you did. But thank you, Swolly Gang. Let me squeegee this one out and we'll show you. So there's definitely a few methods. If you're going to be using a blade on a car, that's what we're going to be focusing on. We'll talk about a Sharpie probably later. When I think I got a Sharpie here, but I think we should probably set it up for a Sharpie. But most of what I do is what I can talk about best. So let me peel this off. Let's make sure this turned out well. And let's talk about it. So, if I'm gonna cut with a knife, usually, like, so for not cutting the side seals, you just want to have out a really small amount of blade. So with the red dots, you get like half clicks. That's why I like these knives a lot. A lot of tinters do. So the Olfas will do this. They'll be like full stops out. Red dots have half stops there. So you can put out just a very small amount of blade. I'll typically do this when I'm cutting a side edge. And then when you do it, you're really going in this little gap here. So you kind of like shove the blade in here at like an angle, more of like this way, right? You kind of keep it against the seal, and you also keep it tilted out. You don't want to just cut this way. You want to cut, or just even straight on. You want to keep this blade tilted, and you're resting your blade against the side and just using it as a guide. So you can put it more in that little channel there, keep it as a guide, and then just keep going out. When you get to the bottom here, sometimes it's a good idea just to stop, because if you start angling up, this gets really awkward, and sometimes you'll like carve little slivers out when you get to the bottom. So it's actually smart to start at the bottom and go up where your blade has nothing to run into up here, rather than going here and going down, and then I have no choice but to angle my blade like that. I'm just so used to doing it that way, that's why I do it. But you could have smaller corners to round off if you do it that way. So this side, angle it this way. On this side, angle it back this way and do the same thing. You're really just putting sideways pressure on that seal and just going straight down with it. So if you stick to that, you shouldn't get any slivers cut. Thank you for that super, I appreciate it. Hope that helps. What's the easiest car to tint? This one's definitely on the list, I'd say. One of my favorite easiest cars is the Malibus. There's a period I got a lot of Malibus. Malibus are great. What do you do to combat hydrophobic coatings on glass? I haven't run into it in a while. There are a few products. One I think I'd have to try and dig out. I think I've brought cases, but I haven't had to use it in a while. So let me see if I can maybe run over there and find it. Yay! It's so clean. I'm glad. This seems like we're all good with these. Let me see. Wait, we peek around the corner? No. I don't want to find it. I don't want to dig through all that crap right now. So one of them was called Squeaky Monkey. It is a glass scrubbing compound. It's somewhere back there. I haven't had to use it in a while. And the other thing I've been told works pretty well is actually spraying like ATR on the windows. I've been told that it helps out a lot with hydrophobic coatings. So if you're having that problem, maybe try spraying something like this on there. I got my first good back window shrunk, but I wanted to apply it and the wind got it. I don't have a garage. Oh, that's sad. Rip back window. Yeah, that's what sucks about tinting outside. You gotta battle the wind. So you like wait for it to kick up and then slow back down, and then you'd probably be better off reverse rolling it in that case. Just ordered 5 Glass A tape rolls to support you. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I don't have proper Glass 8 alerts right now, but I tried. It's mostly just a way to let everybody know. I've been asked relentlessly about it, so just trying to let everybody know that it's there. I really appreciate it. I was down to like my last couple rolls, and then it like came in at the last minute. Yay! Oh, which reminds me, I probably got to save a couple of them. It's mine. Just ordered some Glass 8. Thank you. Appreciate it. Both JS Move and JDM. Thank you guys. Much appreciate you. And thank you to anybody else, as I've probably missed it. I was trying to like catch up a little bit on time with this. Like the weirdest thing, so my lights up there, the connector started fizzling out. Like it didn't touch it. I was just standing here checking somebody, cashing somebody out, and then the light just went, and then like, okay, what timing? So I had to fix that, or else all this would have been dark. No fun. Save some for me. Glass 8. Glass 8. Go get it. Go get it before it's gone. All right, 1 second here. Canon. Whoa! The Tint Studio squeegee. Oh, I didn't know that was in there too. Oh shit, is it showing everything? I thought it was supposed to only show the Glass 8. That's whoops. If that's the case, cool. But also, whoops. Thank you. Thank you for the order. I'm scared to look at how many orders I gotta fill out now. My phone doesn't recognize me. My phone doesn't recognize... I think I got 32 orders that I gotta fill. Jesus. Thank you! Vacation's over. My God. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I see a cheap plate holder at the PC cart. Yes, this is from the Black Magic kit. Also, this squeegee right here. So, a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I think yesterday? I don't know, whatever. I installed the ceramic. Yeah, it was yesterday, sorry. Days are confusing to me. Is the scratch coat good on Geo? Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely one of the better ones around. There's always something. There's like always something with every film. The only thing I don't like about it is the tackiness. I think they could lighten up on how tacky it is. If they fix that, I'd be infinitely more happier, but we still get it installed okay. So that's good. Oh, I know what I want to try here really quick. So I've seen this technique. It's just a little different. It's like what you mostly see with people that use torches. I'd call it the typewriter or something, I don't know. But it's like they put the like one of the things about the torch they'll do is you just get it really close and then you just do this. And it's like you're thinking about the area that you shrink after you did it. It's like you kind of just already know. And this scares me a lot, but I was trying it and it was just kind of working. I wouldn't have done it this way unless I saw it ahead of time. But this is what I'll see a lot of times with like the torch. So it's like, it just kind of tells me that I can push things a little bit more than like kind of waiting for a visual cue to put something down. Like you can guesstimate where it's gonna shrink and just kind of trust that you're gonna do enough and you just keep going. So I wanted to play around with that a little bit. Like this. Just get that heat gun, just get that heat wave going. And then something like that. We're like halfway there. It's a little messy, but should be enough to work with. You know. How do you keep the tint on the rear window? I have a dryer sheet in the way. There's a few things that you can use, but that's what I have on there now. Who do you look up to in the film industry? We look up to you? Aw, you don't have to. Nobody in particular. I watch everybody. I think the thing is like, we're all just trying to, well, not everybody, but like anecdotally, is that the right term for it? We're all trying to do better jobs, and you can learn something from everybody. It doesn't matter how long you've been tinting. I think you can learn something from everybody. Doesn't matter if it's like a faster technique or just a different way to do something. I swear, every single person that I've ever watched tint, good or bad, I've learned something from. It's just everybody has a slightly different perspective on how to do it. So watch absolutely everybody that you can, and then pick up little things and just try and make the best technique that you can. That's the way I've always tried to look at it from the beginning. I never wanted, like, it's so pointless to get caught up in like who's the best or what's the best, like basically, you know, like top loading versus bottom loading, or this dude's way faster or whatever. It's like at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make my customers happy and trying to get stuff done in an efficient amount of time. And it's stupid to like argue about the difference in techniques, but it's really helpful to understand why something works a little bit better than something else, and then just see what kind of fits your style a little bit better. So just watch everybody, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to do it a little bit faster, a little bit better, and make your customers happy. So I've learned a lot from absolutely everybody. I appreciate it. I'm the best. God, there's so many pissing contests on Facebook. It's so dumb. It's like, at the end of the day, like, let's say you were the best. What does that even do for you? Like, really? What does it do for you? Nothing. It's like bragging rights amongst a very small group of people, and then most people don't care. Ooh, I forgot we're cutting on a new strip. Yeah, buddy, that's what I like to see. It's a go. That's a go in my book. Cool. I'm glad to know that I can fulfill those orders. So the blade shouldn't cut through the glass aid? No. Sometimes you'll splice it, and as you're peeling it apart, it'll like tear away from itself. But yeah, you're trying not to cut all the way through it. So it's a little bit different than just cutting at a low angle on the glass. I'll lift the blade a little bit and cut. I'll show you on this one. I'll cut at a little bit of a sharper angle. That seems to work out better. And sometimes the film you use won't always be as great with it as some other films. Like sometimes it's like you'll feel like you're cutting through the film and then you won't. But I don't know. That's just been some general observations. Most people seem to like it though. That's cool. Your deposits tip helped a lot. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, that was something that I was very unsure about when I first started doing it. But I was like, okay, I've literally got a small window of time where like I set aside this window of time for somebody. If somebody doesn't show up, then they like there's no streaming. So I'm very selective on like the number of appointments that we bring in a day. So every one of them matters. So if you're not going to show up, that's fine. I just want some notice. Where can I buy some Glass Aid? Glass Aid. Does it post? Does that post on Facebook or does it not post on Facebook? Dang, it doesn't post. mytintstuff.com. Oh wait, it does post on Facebook. Okay, so when I'm cutting through this, I'll generally go like, so when you're doing directly on glass, you try and keep it at a sharp angle. You still can, but sometimes I'll go a little bit higher, just a little bit sharper of an angle. And also you're like, there's this little feel to it. So you kind of like dig your blade into it just a little bit and you can kind of feel it dragging along. Where when you're cutting directly on glass, you can actually cut the film, I think, a little bit easier. But you can also scratch the glass and I don't want to do that. Also, this stuff is a little sensitive to temperature. So if you have a hot garage, it'll be softer. If it's cold, it'll hold up a little bit better. So that might be why I like it even more because, you know, we're frozen 6 months out of the year. But it's been like 80s and 90s. I'll use it all year round. Also, dry the area before you cut on it. Yeah, that's a good tip. Yep. It's a little stretchy. So when you're unrolling it onto the window, the material can start to stretch, and if the area underneath it isn't really cleaned or dry, then it's gonna slip on you. So around your corners, the tighter ones especially, if you stretch it a little bit, it'll start to pull inwards, and then your corners will be cut short, and you'll be very unhappy, and then you'll hate me for it. So I don't want you to hate me for it. So clean your windows better. That's a good tip. Thank you. That's one reason why I use a scrub pad and a squeegee. Spray it all down, squeegee it off so it's perfectly dry. Clean and dry. And it's actually a better way to inspect the window afterwards. Wow, I just threw my stuff all over the place. Did you have a bad ordeal that made you look into something like Glass Aid? Yep. Yep, more than once. So the whole reason it exists was I remember the car. There were more than that, but so there was this BMW. Probably had like three. It was a 3 Series. It was probably like 5 to 7 years old, so it wasn't like a brand new one, but it was, you know, it was reasonably clean. And I was at the glass shop, and I tinted the back window, and I rough cut the film on the glass. And then, so rough cut the film on the glass, and then like I had a cut that went like this, that went from here and just kind of like trailed off. You know how you see a lot of people will rough cut directly on the glass? I'm constantly lifting up the film and like air cutting it because I don't want to score the glass. And then I tint the whole thing, wipe it off, and there's this all the way around. And I was really paying attention to a lot of different types of windows. If you clean off your windows well enough and you look close enough, most of the time you have a very slight line there. It's generally not something, unless you were showed, that you would notice, but there generally is something there, and it's right against the black border. So I needed something to keep up with the pace of things, and something I could throw in my toolbox and just not worry about having to carry something extra with me, like something big, like a glass board or something. Something. So I pack up my stuff, go to the glass shop, and I'd be tinting in any of those spots. If anybody saw some of my older live streams, I did a handful out of the glass shop. There's just windshields, all sorts of inventory on the wall. The floors are dirty. They're tearing through windshields all day long. They're blowing shit in the air. They're working up a storm, and I don't have a glass board that I could just put my stuff on. So I started trying to figure out, okay, what would keep the glass safer and what would be relatively economical to use and really, really convenient. Because what I hated was also losing any type of time, because I couldn't afford to lose the time. I didn't want something that would slow me down. So with GlassAid, I waste time by applying it, but I make up that time because I don't need to shine a light on the inside. So it all just goes really quickly. So I lose a little time, I gain it right back, and my windows are nice and safe for it. Do you use stainless steel blades? Because if you have that and you cut below 45, your chances are very low. Yeah, but even like a 1% chance that you're gonna cut it is still like scary, because all it takes is one back window or windshield. I mean, especially the windshields with the new systems that they're putting in there. I mean, they are super expensive to replace now. So something like an Accord, which just kind of blew my mind. Honda Accord needs to be recalibrated. All in all, around here, about $800 full windshield replacement with a recal. That's ridiculous. So they're starting to put those systems in more things. So it's really like, yeah, your chances are relatively low, and every once in a while you'll have a little score in the glass that may not get noticed. But I don't want to just like, the other thing is like, hey dude, I'm on YouTube. I got a lot of customers that watch this too. I don't really want to put something in front of their face that gives them a reason to think that I just messed up their car. So that's the other thing that it was solving for me, was like water on the door panels, blades on the glass. Those are two big things that customers can see that just like, wah. So chances are low, and generally you are safe. I want something that will assure people and myself that everything's going to be okay. So yeah, and I tried to make it as economical as possible. So woo! There you go. Gator, what's up?
Alligator window tint super chatted $4.99. It also can depend on the car's glass. Any Porsche with the lightweight glass like the GT cars are very thin and will score very easy.
That's a great point. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the super chat. When you're running in, like, not all glass is the same. So we use stainless steel blades because stainless steel is a similar hardness to glass. But there's good quality glass and there's cheap glass. And as Alligator pointed out, there's high-end thin glass. And so there's variants to all of that. And to say that you're never going to scratch a window is just, it's only a matter of time. It happens. A pack might be slightly duller. Glass might be more sensitive. I mean, I don't know how many posts I saw about people scratching the Model 3 back windows when they had brand new glass right out of the factory. I mean, even the defrosters were falling off of some of those Model 3s. So it's like you just never know until you actually take the blade to the glass. Ooh. Had an NFL player bring me a McLaren that had that had scored quarters that were bubbled up. Redid the quarters. Yeesh. Yup. Any number of those things. It's mostly fine until all of a sudden it's not. So that's why it is what it is. So there's a couple of ways that you can cut it out without getting glass aid. So glass aid, to me, I think is one of the most convenient ways to do it, especially if you're in mobile situations. And those were the situations that I was in most often. So that's kind of why it is the way it is. A couple other ways to do it, we'll talk about in another video. Sharpies, that would be helpful. There's also the plastic button method. That, to me, works well. It wasn't really fast for me, though. I didn't like it, and I can explain why. So I think in my next stream, what we can explore are a couple of ways to not buy glass aid. I think that would actually be really, really kind of interesting. I'm getting a phone call, but it's an out-of-state number, so I don't know right now. Congrats on 86. Thank you. Channel is moving right now, which is really good to see. It was like slow and steady for quite a long time, but the extra effort is actually beginning to show a lot. I think I finally figured out what works best for me and consistency, because I still have stuff to do. Still have to get stuff done, and I can't make tint videos from home, unfortunately. Wonder if magnets will work well with an Olfa blade. Magnets. How would you use it? It all takes time. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate it. Squeegee these out. We got a couple little extra magnet. Oh, like a magnet underneath the film with a soft. That might work. Probably. It'd probably skip off, but the idea is kind of there. Gator.
Alligator window tint super chatted $4.99. There is no logical reason to not have glass aid. I plot 99% of the time and cut on most glass, but when you need it, it's priceless to have.
100%. I agree, even if you use a plotter. Thank you so much for the 5. There's always situations where it's going to be helpful. It's just that one thing that is that you always want to keep around in case you run into those circumstances, which it's only a matter of time when you do. I mean, it's one thing to just tint cars regularly. It's a whole nother thing to all of a sudden get, like, you know, just that one-of-a-kind type of vehicle in your shop with all of a sudden a windshield that'll cost you over $1,000 to replace. You're just like, maybe I want to do something else. I gotta pull this back. There's a couple of locked-in air spots right there. We are going to just lightly pull this back and shoot some air under there, or water. Shoot some water under there, so all that squeegees out nice and evenly. Because when you have a couple little dry bubbles, they ain't gonna wanna go out without a fight. So let's make sure I got past where they were. They were right in here, so it looks like we're all good. And we'll just go clean across. Are your green squeegees in stock? Yes, sir. Pretty soon. Weird day. No joke. I actually got, they're not there. Man, I shouldn't have even put Glass 8 on the board. Green shanks. Maybe we'll just send those out instead of the yellow ones. Maybe I should do that. Actually, yeah, I will. So I've got Detroit Tint Studio felt cards, and I've got green shanks. I'm gonna swap out all the existing ones with the new ones that I got. So they literally got to the house while I was here, so I couldn't use them on stream today. But those things arrived too, so I'll make sure to swap those out. They're cool. They look really cool. I couldn't even see them in person though. I want to run home and check them out. Use the tape and clay bar, and I got 100% clean job. Thanks. Dang, glad to hear it. That's awesome. Glad you like it. What squeegee handle you use? I was just gonna pop it up. So Fusion, I use the Fusion handle, and I use their hybrid blade. These things, you can't beat a Fusion handle. They're so solid. They're like, I think they're like 25 bucks, something like that. Man, you'll have it forever unless you lose it. They're just so solid. How much? How much for shipping? $47.25 is a bit. Oh, yeah. If you're buying international, yeah. I'm sorry. Those are the rates that I get. Unfortunately, I'm not a big international store. Like I'm just tint windows, bro. So I do what I can, but shipping is one of those things where unless you're a very big, very big shipping company, you don't get very much breaks on that type of stuff. Pixelated hippo chomps on one hop. That was the super chat. Oh, super sticker. Where is it?
Rodney Rodriguez super chatted $1.99.
Rodney with the 2. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. And glad those things have been working out for you. That's cool to hear. All right. So if I order shanks and felt cards, they'll be green. So the felt cards are mostly regular looking felt cards with Detroit Tint Studio printed on them. That's going to be in purple. And the shanks, those will be green. The pictures aren't updated. They'll be updated later. I still have the normal ones there. They're just like special Detroit Tint Studio edition ones. So, but everybody that is ordering right now is probably coming from the channel. So I kind of figured that most of you guys will want Detroit Tint Studio. I'm ordering right now. Nice, thank you. I totally didn't mean for this to just be about Glass Aid today. But it's back, so I had to fucking let everybody know it's back. Alligator just placed an order for squeegees, Glass Aid, and shanks. Please send the green shanks. Oh, for sure. Thank you, sir. I'll have a video too. I gotta do a video on the shank. I have a good idea for a thumbnail. I just want to put a bunch of shanks in the door. It would make a good thumbnail. That's why I want to make a video. More green. And it's a bright ass green too. It's not just some like forest green. No, it's the neon bright green. They look sweet. How do you go about pricing those small windows? People aren't gonna get these without getting the rest of the car, so I don't price them individually. Super shank. Super shank. Yes. Can we rebrand it to Super Shank? Wow. I brought this guy in there? I didn't even realize I had it in there. Patrick used the green squeegee when he used the Porsche GT, or when we did the Porsche GT4, he fell in love with it. That's cool. It's a solid squeegee. I like it a lot. I've been distracted with, I think a great, like, so the pink turbos, or the green ones, they're not as bright. I have them. They're not as bright. They're not as green as these. These things are great. These things are great for a number of reasons. The pink turbos are also, what drawer did we put it in? Okay, here. So they have the green one. See, it's like, the shanks are like this green. They're not like this. This is like a dull, boring green, whatever. But this material is really, really good. I like the pink ones a lot. So if you guys want a turbo, the Fusion turbos are great. I'm not a fan of turbos. I really like these, though. These are different for a couple of reasons. The way that they work themselves into bottom seals is actually really cool. So this edge, to me, is what makes it. So it's a comfortable squeegee to hold. And then when you want to get it, I don't even know if I have to spray it. When you want to get into the seal, one, it's not as wide as one of these guys are. And see that blunt edge doesn't get into that seal. So something like a tri-edge card is great for getting into most seals, but even once in a while, it kind of hits that edge and doesn't quite get into there. If you hit the right spot, you can get in there. Most times you're okay, but there's still a handful of times where, like, that's why I like the slimmed down edge on the shank, because the shank most of the time will just pry back that seal. These things kind of freaked me out because there were so many times I was squeegeeing down the sides and I go right into the bottom. Like every time it would peel the seal back, and so you just swipe along the bottom edges. So for the sides and the bottom and quarter windows, these things are pretty handy. Always make sure they're a little wiped off, though. They'll hold a little bit of grit if you're not too careful. Taycan rear windshield. Oh, it looks like Gator can answer those. I have not done one of those. Here we got Sentras. I can't answer anything about a Sentra today. Oops, here goes my clay bar. All right, so we're gonna wipe this off, and we'll be good to go here. What brand is the microfiber? The yellow ones they're Costco. I think they're really good, like, fluffiness, and they don't leave a ton behind. They've been pretty good. Another one, they're going to run you a little bit more. These were recommended to me for glass cleaning. They come from the Rag Company. What are they? Dry Me a River Waffle Weave drying towels. You can get them in a 3-pack, I think is what they usually come in. These things are pretty nice too. I just haven't, like, man, they're they're just clean looking. I didn't want to get them dirty. So I guess we'll just clean the windows with these. Why not? Is that bad? I got towels and I didn't want to get them dirty. But these are supposed to be really good for being pretty streak-free and cleaning your glass too. So if you want something that's a little more high-end, use something like this. If you want to go a little cheaper route, the Costco ones have like, you can buy more of them, you know, good old Costco bulk. Get a little deal on it. I should probably just get these dirty and order a whole bunch more of them. I just haven't wanted to. They're so nice. Yeah, these are good. I mean, the Costco ones will leave some little fibers behind here and there. Not much, but they'll generally stay pretty clean and they do a good job. These ones, they're not going to leave fibers behind. Much higher quality than that. I suppose we should probably order some more of those then. We'll finally break into some better towels, maybe. Thank you for your comment. Ever shrink side back windows, like third of the side windows on your Explorer? Ever shrink the side / back, like the third windows off the... Can you reword that? I kind of understand. You're like snap shrinking the back window? Is that what you're asking? What's your thoughts on tint over tint? Tint over tint is perfectly fine in most cases. You just can't warranty it. So if somebody brings you a car and they have tint on it, yeah, I'd be more than happy to tint over that existing tint. I don't have any problems with it. But just know, I have no idea what's there already. And if that film fails, then I can't just redo both of it. And it's potential to just ruin my film, obviously. So, you know, that's not under warranty at that point. So, but it's a good way to save some money and get your car darker. So I've done it. I've definitely done it. I wouldn't not do it for somebody. Unless their tint job was maybe just exceptionally horrible. Sweet! Well, it looks like we're pretty much done this one. The one side window that won't roll down? Oh, yeah, so like bigger quarter panel windows or something. Yeah, any of those ones that the side, like big ones, yeah, you can either shrink the fingers or you can snap them a little bit. I'll just snap them like I do side windows. Just a little bit, though. Not very much. There isn't much to shrink on them. Thank you for clarifying. What's the hardest / challenging thing you had to tint? Classic vehicles. Classic vehicles are no fun. I did a Porsche 992, fuck, what was it? A 928, it was a 928. I did one of those. That was the most challenging thing I had recently. Not super fun, but it turned out nice. 928, that's right. There's too many numbers. There's too many Porsche numbers. I think I got mosquitoes in here, man. I'm really annoyed. It rained a bunch here and it was humid. So I think I got mosquitoes in my shop right now. Just want to make sure, GoPro. I was going to run over here and grab the keys quick. I knew that it was there. Okay, I put the keys there. I want to shut all the doors on the car and walk around it. I always got to make sure the keys are out of the car. Because that would be a big no-no to lock the keys in the car. We're not going to do that ever. Ever! Again. We've done it. It's not a good time. Okay. So we're done. We're done with the car. But I'll hang on for a little bit and answer some questions and just chill for a minute. So 35 on the front doors, 20% on the back. And, yeah, looks real good. Turned out nice and clean. Everything's very straightforward about these. There wasn't a single thing. Like, seals are fine. They're pretty manageable to tuck into. You got plenty of room on the sides. The only weird thing was, like, the back window shifted out a little bit, but we adjusted for it. Tightness, quarter windows, shrinking, everything gives you plenty of room and is really straightforward. Canon. What do you charge when removing tint? I pretty much had to just double. I've had to pretty much just double the price of a tint job. So that was, it might change a little bit in the wintertime, but I had people that were asking for like full removals, and I had a lot more people asking for full tint jobs that I had to push off way longer. A full removal just takes too long, so just like, I don't even want to do them. I feel bad, but that's just kind of, they take up too much time. As the fans want to know, when are we doing Nick's C6? I might have that Apex film in today. I got a Geo order today. I had some yesterday. Oh shit, I forgot to even bring it in today. I have extra Geo that was on the way that just got delivered yesterday and today. So probably soon. Probably soon. Either this week or next week. We'll figure it out. Ship my glass aid today? I would love to. I don't think I can. We're going to be up packing a bunch of orders, so it probably can go out first thing tomorrow, though. Because we can ship on Saturdays. So I'll probably just dump a bunch of orders off tomorrow. Sergio!
Sergio Garcia super chatted $5. Thanks for the patience on my question. Just a little brain fart.
All good, man. No worries. Thank you for the 5. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it, though. Just a little brain fart. Oh, let me let this guy know that his car's all set. I should probably do that. Let me take a picture. 1 second. I ordered 3 rolls, so if you could get me in those orders, much appreciated. Yeah, they're all going to go out. Whoa, thank you. Yeah, let me make sure this one. There's a deposit for the Malibu. What? Price for 300. Sorry, I'm going through. Just want to eat Friday. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. She's all set. Good deal. Just got 5 rolls. Been waiting on this. Oh, man. I got to make sure I get it. No, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. Smile. Thank you, guys. I'm glad to finally have it back. Oh my God, the sheer amount of times I've been asked and been like stressed out trying to get this stuff back in has just been, yeah. But here, finally, it's only a matter of time. No fun. But thank you, Alejandro. With the 5 rolls. Thank you, buddy. And then Mr. Moore with the 3. Appreciate it. When starting your website for scheduling, how did you go about marketing? We did some traditional ways. So everybody should have just a general business website. So when somebody finds you on maps or whatever, like Google search, it's always just another way to get in touch with you. So even like obviously you should have a website, right? So not just for scheduling, But anyways, so we messed around with a few different things. We did like Facebook marketing, and early on it wasn't super helpful for us, but it did kind of eventually generate some leads. I think the most helpful thing for social media marketing is actually putting together some type of a video that shows the process or what you're about, or just something a little bit more behind the scenes than a picture of a car with a little description. People love video. Do something to grab their attention a little bit. And so I had a video that I actually paid to boost, which was the difference between carbon, a cheap carbon and a more expensive carbon. And from that, I got way more interest in carbon, let alone extra business. There were more people that were coming asking specifically for the carbon because of that video. So putting a little bit more effort into that type of marketing and then just pushing it out there. And then you can also do some good paid Google advertisements. So like popping up in Google search and just being, kind of some of the first ones to hit. The biggest one that seemed really helpful when I got into the shop, though, was, God, what was it? Google My Business. If you keep Google My Business busy, that's what they want to see. So just keep posting pictures on it. And do what you can. You can't post videos on there, but you want to try and keep your reviews a little busy, and then, just keep posting pictures. Why do you think all my video content is featuring my XR Plus series? There you go. There you go. I didn't even think about it. That's awesome, though. So it's like, the clear difference that really helped above everything else is always having some sort of introduction into your business. So when you get a cold call for pricing, it's hard to stand out, but you got to figure out a different way to stand out even over the phone. So start talking to them about the different films that you have. Ask them what they're interested in for films or whatever. Like, just do something, because most people are like, yeah, the price of a tint job starting is blah, 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 thanks, bye. Like, that's it. So everybody else sounds like that. So you got to do something to stand out a little bit more, and that'll help you out a bunch. It can be a slow grind in the beginning, but those initial customers, impressing those people turn into your referrals, and those turn into just your whole business. Like, that's how it goes. So more often than not, my most consistent business is referrals from other people, and then people slowly trickle in from the live streams. And then what's really cool about what I do is when I stream somebody's car, sometimes they share it with friends and family. And then those just are like, oh, he got his car tinted. And it turned out great. Whoa, that was cool. And then they start asking about it. So it's a great way to generate extra business, too. What's the latest I can put in my order to be shipped? I don't know. Like, before I go to bed tonight. Because if I wake up tomorrow, I'm not going to get it packed. So just get it in. do it now. Order now. You ever use Expel window tint? No, actually I haven't. I know where it comes from, and I hear good things about it. Alligator loves it. People with Expel are really happy. I think I only like half fit into Expel. But what I don't like is when I bring it to the channel. One thing I really didn't want was a film where if I use it, then it's territory based, because I didn't want like somebody down the road to not be able to get it, or somebody like that's what drives me a little crazy about Expel. I get it. This isn't a debate. This is just for my people. What I use, I want you guys to be able to use as well. And if you can't, that really sucks. It's like, oh, I use this film and I don't understand shrinking. It's like, well, you can't get the stuff that I use, so. So it's kind of the thinking behind that. Alrighty. So, anything else? Did you guys check out this thumbnail? Maybe I can poll you guys really quick. I forget Facebook has polls. I need to figure out a thumbnail. So I need first impressions. Let me know. I'm going to bring up a thumbnail on screen here. Ooh, somebody just cut the hell out of their finger in my group. Jesus, I didn't want to see that. It's okay. Just ordered 3 rolls of Glassade. Thank you. Danny, thank you. I'm trying to find my post. I think my own post got super buried on my own group. Yes, it did. Gotta love that. Okay. Yeah, because I'm just like anybody else in my own group. That's how this goes. So I'm going to bring up a... How can we do this? Facebook poll? How do I do a Facebook poll? Poll! There it is. So, Black Magic. Or no. Okay, cool. Or no, let's make it easier than that. Top, bottom. And the question is which thumbnail. So I'm going to first bring up this. How do I do this? There's too many buttons to push. There's too many buttons. Desktop. There we go. Can you see it? Yes? Sorry, I gotta get this out of the way. Okay, cool. So you guys can see it, mostly. No! Oh, it's gone. Can we get both of them on screen? Mostly. Good God. Is that gonna help? That'll help. There it is. Okay, so these are the two thumbnails. So I need to know which one you like better. This would help out a great deal with the video that I'm going to be posting on Sunday. So we're doing a Walmart ceramic tint video. That is going to be up, like I said, on Sunday. Which of the two thumbnails do you like better? Do you like the top one or the bottom one? And I like that they're small because that's the whole point. I think the second one is a little hard to understand unless you know what you're looking for. But the bottom one is a clear demonstration of what's wrong with it. And the top one is your pretty general YouTube thumbnail. I like your long hair in the top option. Oh, geez. Yeah, I got to get a haircut. I'm sitting there, like, trying to do a thumbnails. I hate doing thumbnails. I'm sitting there, like, you're just sitting there doing this with the things and, like, oh, what angle looks good? And you got to put about as much work into a thumbnail as you got to do in a video. Bottom one. The top one. Okay, so most people are going for the top. So if these scrolled by in your feed, which one would you click on? 86 so far say the top. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. That's kind of what I figured out of these two. I want to see if I can make the top one better, or I might just be lazy and just do that one. Top one makes me curious. The question is, how many pictures did you take before actually picking these two? I didn't take any pictures. I took video because I used to try and do pictures. In a video, I can just keep doing this, little changes and little adjustments, and then I just scroll through it, find the snippet that I want, and then I screen cap that. And then that's the thumbnail. Or at least that's most of it. Sometimes I'll go through and make little adjustments after the fact. But I think the second one is kind of a spoiler, but if you didn't know what to look for, there's not like a clear contrast there, so you don't really know. It's just kind of like no. But the top one, what I don't like is my dumb smirk, and because I was at the end of the video, that was just the best portion of it. And then you can kind of see the car in the background, but I don't know. But that's kind of those are the ones that I was playing around with. So, top 93, chat has spoken. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard to figure this stuff out because when you're looking at the video, you're always in it, and then you need like outside perspective on what people would generally click on, and it sucks that so much relies on that initial thumbnail impression. But if you put some halfway decent effort into your thumbnails, it will more than make up for it on potential views. It matters. It matters a whole bunch. top will get more views. I hope so, because we pretty much guessed. We can rearrange it later on, like it could replace it, but also I got to think of a good title for it. Titles are also a really challenging thing to think of because there's like 100 ways you can say the same thing. You just got to think of like the most interesting and efficient way to say it. So much. Titles, thumbnails, and then like 25% of it is actual video content. But I always think of the video first and then get back to the thumbnails. It's got to do it opposite. Is 15% carbon tint a good choice? Yeah, 15 looks great. My most popular is 20. 15 and 20, you can barely tell a difference. If you ask me side by side, like on a white wall, yeah, you can see the difference. When you pull it outside, if you have like 20 on the front, 15 on the back, you can hardly tell a difference with either one. But yeah, 15 and 20, both are great choices. It's what you see on the back of most trucks and SUVs. It's the most popular shade. How's the Sentra? I love these cars. They go quick for me. Yeah, it went really quick. Very, very painless. Everything went really, really well. So I didn't have like anything in particular on these ones. Jesus Christ. There are a whole butt ton of orders. Oh my God. I could be up late. It's gonna be a busy day. Thank you. I appreciate it, but good God. Do you have a BTU meter and is it useful? Yep, I do. It's super useful. It puts a clear number. I wasn't even sure how to explain it super well, other than like, you feel less heat. No, it puts an actual number on it. So if you look in the last major video that we posted. Ooh. Sounds so fancy. Let me click on my channel here. We'll go to videos. I will show you a very nice demo of it. 20. Okay. Shush you. Desktop. Oh, look at that. Who's that? Is that me? Okay, so that's the meter. That is not the BTU meter. So here, this is probably the best video footage that I've ever taken of it. So we have a BTU meter. We have an infrared heat bulb. This is a 250 watt heat bulb. And this is, as you can see, no tint. Each one of these slides are tinted in my different films. So it's as simple as turning on that meter. They can put their hand in front of it at any time. So I'm going to walk you through my own little sales pitch here. So each one of these are tinted in 20% in the different films. You can see with 20% dyed, the meter doesn't really change. So you get good looks, you get glare reduction, but you don't get any IR rejection, hardly any. Then you go to the carbon, that cuts it down by 50%. So we went from 300, now we're down to 150. Then we go to the ceramic, and we cut that down by about 75%. And what's cool is it's real clear cut, so it's like half, half, half. And then when you go back to no tint, boom, back up to 300, you get blasted with heat. Crazy, right? It's that simple. It's really, to explain the difference between the types of film, it's that simple. Get a heat box, get a BTU meter. They will be your best sales friends. Highly, highly, highly recommend them. It makes it just so easy. That BTU meter puts an actual number on it. So even if you're like, I'm not quite sure how much heat that is, it's half. Boom. Look, read it. So you're already being told it's half before you put your hand in front of the lamp. And then you go to the ceramic, and at that point, you barely feel any heat. So we're going to be getting the Apex Super Ceramic, and then if I feel any heat, I'm going to send it back. 95% heat rejection coming up. We'll see how it stacks up. I mean, this Gila, sorry, I always say Gila. This Black Magic stuff, just wait. You'll see what it did. When are green shanks going to be available? They are actually available in store today. The picture is yellow. I will be shipping out green shanks to everybody as a special shanks. Shanks, good God, that's terrible. This is terrible. This is fun. I always like hanging out. a little bit after. It's not as stressful. Like, there's a bunch of little things that I can bring up on stream. I can actually just, like, breathe. Video, how to cut out without a glass board. That's a good idea for a video. I gotta write some of these down, too. I have, like, a long list of video ideas. What's your next car? That's it, I'm done. I close at 5. So this is, like, a long list of, like, other video ideas and some stuff that I'm working on. So I like to just kind of write these down. It's been the best way to keep track of everything. Have you started your barn dominium floor plans yet? No, not yet. It's going to be a little bit. Super ceramic in the front. Some will create global winter. Dang. In front of the sun. Yes, we're just going to block out all the heat from the sun. Ice planet. That's what Apex is going to do. I thought it'd be really funny to have, like, something on screen, or something, like, every time I say Apex, something happens on screen. That would be funny. What kind of phone? That's the Note. It's the Note Ultra. It's big. Ever grow a beard? No, I have stubble, but it's very patchy. If I shave it all the way, it's very itchy, though. I don't like that. So I've never been able to really grow a full beard. It's always, it's thin. Do you think a plotter would shorten up the time it takes you to do a tint job? Parts of it, sometimes. So, hey. Okay. I got to sign off here really quick. Just 1 second, I'm sorry. And I will... I should have ended the live stream. All right, let me shout out some super chats really quick. I got to go cash out this customer. And I always shout out some super chats, so just wanted to say thanks. And thank you guys for all the orders today. So Sergio, Rodney, Gator, Alligator, Swolgang, Boss with a massive one. Good God. Jesus. 25.
Boss super chatted $34.76.
Boss with the 25. Thank you. It was another great stream. Thanks. Dude, that was massive today. Huge thank you. Woo! I had to. Boss just, Mr. Moneybags, good God. Thank you. All right. I hate to just cut and run after that. Thank you guys for all the Glass 8 orders, too. That is back in stock. If you need some, you can pick it up. I will have more reminders elsewhere, but those of you that watch the streams, you guys get the heads up first. So much appreciate you guys. I will see you probably tomorrow. We'll have another stream tomorrow. So goodbye. Goodbye.